So here's what I want to say. You talk about this all the time. We have to have trust with ourselves. Number one, have I ever said to myself, come on, boss, get up off your ass, put your sneakers on. All right. I
I've
have,
had the same.
yes, I have enough trust with myself now that I know my own intentions. That if back in the day, if I would say, get your ass up, like when I was like all broken on the inside, I had the lowest self-esteem. My self-talk was shit. If I was to say to myself a few years ago, Vas, get your ass up, I'd be like, no, don't tell me what to do. But there's enough trust and repair built within myself that
That's interesting.
yeah, so I would say to you and anyone who's wondering, what kind of tone should I use with yourself, I mean, yes, if stop being a little bitch is fueled with shame, with shame. But if
Yeah, I don't recommend this statement, everybody. But you got an inner David Goggins?
but here's what I would do. If there is a part of you that can respond back. So here's what I would do, Mark. I would have you ask yourself out loud, which part of me feels shame when I tell myself to stop being a little bitch? How old is that part of me that feels shame when I say to myself, stop being a little bitch?
Probably like 12 or 13. Was I supposed to answer?
Yes. So I want to train you on how to do it with yourself. So you would do that with yourself.
I'm being coached instead.
No, because what I'm trying to show is that you can do it with yourself. I just happen to be here. So you would let your 12, 13-year-old Mark respond because he's still inside of you. He's just a bigger version. It's you. So what would he say?
He would say, that feels hurtful because my sensitivity was shamed as a kid.
And then you get to be the dad coach that you want to be. And you can say, do you feel like I don't respect you? Or how does it feel when I say that to you? And let that part of you speak. Go ahead. It makes me feel like you think
Yeah. The child part of me, the response would be like my sensitivity is being shamed, like the amount of emotionality that I have was not allowed to be expressed and was shamed by peers because it wasn't correlated to masculinity.
So very valid point. Your 12, 13-year-old has a lot of wisdom. He's absolutely right. His sensitivity was shamed. He was probably made fun of, bullied, or being told stop being a little bitch. So of course now, Mark adult is telling him stop being a little bitch. And he's like, what? Again? Like, come on. Like, I'm just starting to start to feel good. Like, please don't talk to me that way or whatever that conversation is. Now, the goal here is to get that Mark on board. You're the quarterback. All the parts of yourself are your teammates. That doesn't mean that 12, 13-year-old Mark.
So the adult is the quarterback. I like this.
Yes, you're the quarterback. So 12, 13-year-old Mark, very valid point. He feels sensitive. He's been shamed. But you want to get little Mark on board because you have shit to do in this lifetime. You're a new dad. You're a new dad. You have Kylie. You have this. You have all the things that you want to create. Mark, 12, 13-year-old Mark, he's a wonderful, sensitive young boy. And I think he's pretty prevalent in your life. It's clear just the kind of dad you are, the kind of writing. But maybe when it comes to certain areas, he's a little bitch. He is. He's a little bitch.
He can be a little. Here's the thing is when that part of myself managed my life with the overt sensitivity, I became a doormat.
Yes.
So that Mark is not driving any cars, can sit in the car and be like, it's time to be more open-hearted and curious about that. And quarterback's like, oh yeah, you actually can speak up right now. Harsh Mark, who's reactive and more like jaded, which would probably be about 15. He also can't have the microphone. He sometimes gets it on social media. Because, hey, it's like you were talking about your mom and dad. It's like there are these two extreme archetypes, which is so true of so many of our parents, right? Like one was overtly assertive, controlling, whatever, and the other one was people-pleasy, doormatty. I mean, it's just the fucking way people relate. But there is a beautiful wisdom in both, which I think about those archetypes of like the overexpressed child versus the overexpressed warrior. And you can't live your life as a warrior and you can't live your life as a toddler. I mean, you will continuously be invited to find balance. So this voice of speaking so I would invite sensitive Mark to the table, but I'd also be like, hey, we got to get stuff done. And I hear you. So how would I
want to first always assume the best in this Mark. Sensitive Mark wants to get on board. He wants to be a team player. He is not out to get you. I always want to think the best of everyone that I meet, because life is just, I don't like walking through life thinking the worst of people. It's just not a way to live. And I want you to think the
It's
best
so
of.
hard.
It's so hard. It just feels like everything's attacking you, right? And it's like, no, it's not. It's not, So it may feel like that though. And I get that, but I want to put the power back in everyone's hands. So what I would have you do is talk to that 12-year-old Mark. Like, you got to get his trust back. If you want to say, stop being a little bitch, if you, this Mark, current self, wants to be.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I love this.
All right. Listen, little man, your heart, your love is so powerful, and your sensitivity, and we need every aspect of that. Can you trust that I will know when we need to access that sensitivity, and when what I'm exposing or putting us through is actually for our growth, but you are always safe?